Section 23. In the beginning of this section, we learn about some of the signs of God, including the design of the sun and the moon. Then we come to understand that the trumpet will be blown for a second time and what will happen after that. We then get some descriptions of the residents of paradise, and later God tells us that He is the master creator. Then in the next chapter we get more insight into the day of judgment and what the misleaders and the misled will say to each other. We also get some descriptions of the gardens of bliss and also what the people there will say to each other. And then a fascinating scene of a believer in paradise calling out to a disbeliever in hellfire who almost led that person astray. Later on we get more insight into the story of Abraham, peace be upon him, and his intelligence with the incident of the idols. And also we learn about his dream relating to Ishmael. Then through numerous passages there is mention of various messengers, peace be upon them all. It includes Noah, Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Moses, Aaron, Elias, Lot, and the story of Jonah and the whale. The chapter ends with God saying, "Peace be upon the messengers and praise be to God, Lord of all the worlds." Moving to the next chapter, God again mentions various prophets, some briefly as a reference, and for others we learn more about some moments in their lives. We get more insight into the stories of David and Solomon, peace be upon them, and the story of Job, peace be upon him. Also the mention of Ishmael, Elisha and Dhul-Kifl, who God say all are among the best. Then we are informed about the disputes between the residents of the fire, and also we learn about the hallmark of pride and arrogance. Towards the end of this section we see a couple of strong reminders which encourages people to seek God and find guidance and not to be left astray, where God says, "Can the misguided be like those whose hearts God has opened to Islam, so they are enlightened by their Lord? So woe to those whose hearts are hardened at the remembrance of God. It is they who are clearly astray." Then it is God who has sent down the best message, a book of perfect consistency and repeated lessons, which causes the skin and hearts of those who fear their Lord to tremble. Then their skin and hearts soften at the mention of the mercy of God. That is the guidance of God, through which He guides whoever He wills. But whoever God leaves to stray will be left with no guide. And that brings us to the end of section 23.